The 3090, it's just so much cheaper. The question is it better than the 5090? It depends on what you're looking at. What is up, guys? Chris here, Bear Market Mining. Welcome back to the channel. And today we have the crypto mining at home tier list. So this is a hardware tier list that we're going to be going today. I am going to be ranking different pieces of hardware, CPUs, GPUs, and mini ASICs based off a number of different metrics and mostly my personal opinion. So we're talking things like, how easy are they to set up? How much money do they make? Will they pay themselves off ever, right? Or fast? How much do they cost to buy? All this sort of stuff. So we're not going to waste any time. Let's jump straight into the tier list ranking and let me know your thoughts down below. All right, let's get this thing moving. So I'm sure all of you have seen these sort of tier lists before, right? We've got a bunch of different pieces of hardware, 5 or 6 GPUs, CPUs, and mini ASIC miners, as we said, all which we can run at home. And we're gonna rank them in order of best to worst. So S tier being the best, D tier being the worst. Now, I have run a little bit of math behind all of this to get a few of these details. So we've got a little spreadsheet here. You should be able to see it on screen, but we won't spend too much time on it. And it's just giving us some data about the profitability, the versatility, and all that sort of stuff, just to sort of help me know exactly where we're at, so I can take just the opinion side completely out of it, because the math is important too, right? So let's get started. Let's have a look at, say, something like the 3900X, right? So it's the lowest power CPU that we've got. And I guess just to get us started, we're going to put it right around in the middle here, a B tier, halfway point. Now, is this versatile? Well, yes, it can CPU mine. It can be used for, gaming, stuff like that. If you wanted to, it can be used in AI rental rigs. And it's really, really cheap. A setup like this is going to cost you probably a couple $100 if you wanted to CPU mine with it. That's with the motherboard and RAM and all that stuff as well. So the 3900X will start out at B tier, and then we'll sort of move our way through that. The 5900X, very similar, more cores, slightly more powerful, well, the same amount of cores, but a better CPU all in all. Again, similar versatility as the CPU. A lot of these are going to have very similar versatility, can be used in AI rigs as well. So in theory, we should move that up, I guess, to the A tier. And I feel like these might be sliding around at some point a little bit, but we'll do that anyway. Let's throw another graphics card up there. Let's throw a really, really good graphics card up there, right? The 5090. I've got a few of these. If you followed my channel before, you'd know I'm a big fan of these, but boy, are they expensive. So I think it's only fair to throw this up in S tier, right? Super versatile, can be used for GPU mining. Not going to be profitable for GPU mining. If we have a look right here, where's our 5090? Right here. The current best profit is $4.80. Now that is used in an AI rental rig. So they are very, very good for AI rentals. One of the most profitable user end cards you can have. So for right now, I think we stick this, it's got to be an S tier, right? And then if we were to go to the other end of the spectrum, the 3070, just to be fair, I think let's throw that in the B tier as well. The problem with the 3070 with versatility, in fact, I think that's got to go down lower. It's only got 8 gigabytes of VRAM, doesn't have a lot of power throughput in it. You can't really rent these out for any sort of profit for AI rentals. And unfortunately for GPU mining right now, not making any profit either. But it is cheap. It is easy to set up for GPU mining. You put it in Hive OS or just plug it straight into your computer. Now the CPU miners are a little bit more work to set up as far as the headache score. How easy are they to set up? It's basically like building a little computer. So if you're watching this this video and you're into this sort of tech stuff, you probably know how to do that anyway. So very similar sort of headache scores, I would say. Maybe the 3070 is probably slightly easier to set up, but you get the gist. So let's check out an ASIC. So for instance, we've got this iPolo V2H. Let's just start by putting it in the middle. So this is an Ethereum classic miner. Really easy to set up, right? So maybe for that we move it up. Definitely going to be easier than the 5900Xs. Let's have a look at this V2H. It is making some profit. Got a really long payback period, but you'd have to say that would have to move up, right? Let's in fact put these, see, this is what's happening now. We're going to start moving these all around a bit. 5900's got to be better. So the iPolo, you know, making a couple of bucks. Super expensive though, right guys? $2,000. Is it versatile? No. Gets a 5, 5 being the worst, 1 being the best. The resale score, and you resell these? I mean, yes and no. If you're going to sell them cheap, probably yes, but with the way the crypto market is at the moment, not a lot of people are interested in buying them. So yeah, there's that. So yes, maybe. No, we'll keep it down in A tier for now. And I feel like this 3070 has probably got it. We're sliding already. It's got to go down to the D tier right now. And in fact, we're going to move the 3900 down as well, just because it's a slightly less powerful CPU than the 5900X. So let's grab ourselves another. Let's go another ASIC. So we'll go the Antminer X5. This one right here. We'll start out in B tier. Now this mine's RandomX. It's currently profitable. It's making a couple of bucks a day, I think, and they cost a couple of grand. Where are they? So making $2.60. Does very well in the payback period. Well, does decent, just under 1,000 days, so not great, but it is expensive. It's not very versatile, but it is more versatile. In fact, it's definitely not more versatile than the CPUs, but it's making more money. So let's slide this up. So far, I guess the 59 is just on top because it is more versatile, though it is harder to set up, but it is slightly making more money. See, this is where, you know, this really comes down to opinion, right? I prefer GPUs over ASICs. They're more fun than ASICs. These things are just heartless, but if they make money, they make money, right? So let's have a look and got a pretty even spread so far, I think. All right, let's chuck another CPU up, right? So we've got these epic CPUs. These are server grade CPUs, you know, 64 cores, 128 threads. Really, really good for AI rigs. So I know this EPYC 7742 is making about $2 a day. They are slightly harder to set up. So as far as like the headache score, you know, they're probably slightly harder than setting up a standard CPU rig, although some would argue that they're exactly the same. Not in my experience, but that's why this is all about opinion. So let me know your thoughts. Making a couple of dollars a day, CPU mining, really, really good for AI rigs. In fact, I've got this 7B12 paired with a 5090 and a dual 5090 rig as well. So let's put the 7742 up the top in S tier, and I guess that means we'll move this 7B112 slightly down, only because this 7742 is making a little bit more money as far as CPU mining. But if we check the ROIs on them, what's the difference here? So the payback period for the 7742 is 2,900 days if you're CPU mining, and the 7B112 is 3,076. So yep, there you go. So that confirms what we thought we knew. 7742 up the top, the 7B112 just below it. Having a look at, you know, some more ASIC miners. IceRiver AE1 Lite, I think it's maybe making $1 a day. It's not versatile, but it is easy to set up. And it is stable. I'm gonna put it back down with the 3900X. I think it's making about $1 maybe, and that's at a really good electricity rate, but it does pay itself off fast. So maybe we move it up slightly. And in fact, let's put this 3070. Nah, I'm gonna keep the 3070 down below the 3900X as well. Just because the 3900X, at least you can make a couple of cents a day, you know, CPU mining with it. The 3070 is not getting rented for AI rigs, so that defeats the purpose. Having a look again at another 4060 Ti, a GPU, 16 gigabytes of VRAM. It is a super efficient card as far as GPU mining, and they're really cheap, right? I think you can get them for about 400 bucks secondhand. Can be used for GPU mining, can be used for AIs. You know, the headache score, are they stable? Well, that comes down to, you know, your overclocks and things like that. So I think that would tell us that the 5070 can probably go in the same spot, the 5070 Ti. Both of these got 16 gigabytes of VRAM, so they are good for smaller, you know, LLMs, AI, rentals, things like that. So definitely sort of the mid-range. I wouldn't put them up there in the A tier because I guess the Epics are more versatile as far as the AI rental rigs. They make more money CPU mining. You know, the iPolo and the Antminer make more money and they're easier to use. And again, the Fluminer L3, another ASIC. What's this thing making? Let's just sit it in C tier for now. So where are we? Right here. This is a, what were we talking about though? The L3. So it's making 63 cents. It costs 3 grand. Going to be hard to resell as well. Long ROI on it, 5,000 days. I think that's got to go down in the D tier actually. Maybe this moves a 3070 up. More versatile, way cheaper, way better payback period. There you go. Fluminer L3, we've taken the bottom rankings so far. What about CPU? 7950X and the 9950X. So very similar CPUs. Both 16 core, 32 thread, definitely not as good as the Epics. Probably easier to set up. They're making maybe 50, 60 cents a day. Yeah, we're 10 cents a day. Okay, so they're not doing well at all. Long payback periods as well. Current prices, so. They might have to go in C tier, but now looking at the 4060 Ti and the 5070 Ti, what do we prefer? Beast? Do I need to swap these? I don't know. I can't decide at the moment. Let me know what you guys think. Would you prefer a 4060 Ti and a 5070 Ti over a 7950X and a 9950X? That's going to come down to opinion, I guess, right? I'm more into the AI side of things. So I should move these up. I don't know. I'm undecided. I'm at a stalemate. Let me know what you guys think. Let's have a look at a bit of an interesting one. The Nerd Octax. So this is a solo Bitcoin miner. It's not making any money. But if you hit a solo block, you get, you know, 3.2 Bitcoin or whatever it is, worth at all-time highs about 350 grand. They're pretty cheap. I think they're about 500 bucks. Yep, so the payback period is forever. It gets ranked really poorly because of that. But they're a bit of fun. I'm gonna say would you be better off buying a Nerd Octax than an L3? I feel like I couldn't put it above it. At least this is making some money. I'm gonna leave it right there. I think we're gonna leave it right there for now. Let's save the last 2 graphics cards till last. In fact, let's start with the 4090. The 4090 is great rental AI rental rig card. Where is our 4090 here? I'm blind. What color is it? Yellow. 49. They're expensive though, so about 2 grand, but you can make about $3.60 a day. Under 2-year payback period if it's fully rented for an AI rig, so they're really easy to resell as well. They're constantly rented out, you know, on Salad and programs like that. So I think the 4090 is going to have to go up here as well. Going to have to go S tier, I think. Yeah, I think so. It's on par with the 5090. I've got 5090 rental rigs. Most of the time they're rented out, but I know people with 4090s who are permanently rented out. So I think that's going to have to go S tier as well for the time being. Let's have a look at the AE2. This is an Aleo miner. I've got one of these. Are they versatile? No. Are they easy to set up? Yes. They're pretty profitable. $3.61. A 2-year payback period as well, just over. They are really hard to resell. I've been trying to sell one and I cannot sell it. However, they do make a bit of noise, right? I've got a special fan attached to that. because they've got industrial fans straight out of the box, so they're really, really loud. So for that reason, I think middle of the pack, we put it right here. And now last but not least, the 3090. So 3090 has the same VRAM as the 4090. They are really oversupplied though. There's lots of them, but they do get rented out a ton. Let's have a look at some of these numbers. Costs. The $700, making $1.68 if it's always rented. Payback period's the best. Really easy to resell. That should probably be a number 1 as well. I've only put it number 2 because they are slightly oversupplied. Really easy to set up, really versatile, and it's got our best ranking overall, based on all these metrics. So I think for that reason, it's gonna have to go right up top. The 3090, it's just so much cheaper. The question is it better than the 5090? It depends on what you're looking at, right? It's a lot cheaper, but it is a lot older. It doesn't have as much VRAM. So that's a tough one. I'm going to put it not ahead of the 5090, definitely S tier, but definitely not better than the 5090, in my opinion, if you've got the money to sell. All right, so final thoughts. Are we happy with everything here? Let me know what you guys think, right? EPYC, the 7742, does this need to be up S tier? Well, it can be used for CPU mining and AI, same as all the GPUs. I think it holds its place there, right? iPolo V2H and the X5 and the 7B112. Definitely going to make your money back quicker with these or not. So hard to tell, isn't it, guys? Really, really hard to tell. 5900X, really versatile as far as, your ability to get them, right? They're super supplied, they're super cheap, easy to set up, very stable, tried and tested. The 4060 Ti, 5070 Ti, they may make nothing, right? They may be hard to get rented out on AI rental rigs. You might be better off to sort of put them just GPU mining and spec mine and make all your money back, but you might also not. The AE2, a Leo miner, still making a couple of bucks right now. Could be worth, mine was making about 20-30 bucks a day a few months ago. So if that price went back up, say this was making 20 bucks a day, this could shoot right up here. But for now, we'll leave it in B tier. I feel bad putting the 7950X and the 9950X below the 4060 Ti because I prefer CPU mining over GPU mining these days. But you can't get an AI rental rig alone without the GPUs. So let's see what the data says really quick. So yeah, it's got the GPUs above in all the metrics. The 4060 Ti. All right, so I guess we were right now thinking there. They've got to stay there. The L3 and the Nerd Octax. Let's go to our spreadsheet. Oh yeah, well there you go. All right, they were right down the bottom anyway. I haven't consciously analyzed all these numbers, by the way, guys. This is just sort of where we've ended up. So I've got a few of them out of place. I've got the 5090 up top. All personal preference, guys. So that's where we're ending up. 5090, the 3090, the 7742, and the 4090. The best 4 options out of all of these for crypto mining, for versatility, profit, and all that sort of stuff. We're going to wrap it up there, guys. That was a lot of fun. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm sure people will disagree with me with where we've got these ranked. So let me know what you think. If you want to grab this this spreadsheet, join my Discord. I'll link it in there so you guys can just download it and change all the numbers around and do whatever. If you liked it, please hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button if you liked the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace!